What have your sons taught you about understanding or even about being misunderstood?
I think, you know, patience, right? Because I think the one thing about being like is like I explained with my kids now and them dealing with, I feel like it's very different now. Kids and the what kids have to deal with is very different now, at a young age. And so the understanding part for me with my kids is it really is a lot of just, you know, being quiet and being patient and trying to, because I don't understand. I'm an old father, right? I'm 38 years older than my oldest son, right? So I'm 50 years old now, and so I'm this really old guy, you know, compared to them. And for all those 50 year
Compared to
olds out
them,
there,
I
I know.
mean, at 20, you'd be an old guy compared to them.
Right, exactly. So I think, I have all these preconceived notions and things that I've gone through decades of this, that, and the other, and I can't understand their lives, right? Like I don't even, and I'm being honest, like half the time I just don't even understand what they're dealing with. So I feel like I have had to be very patient. Obviously listening and being quiet is very, very important. And but that patient thing, I've had to really be patient, and I think they appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. The listening is a lot of parents miss that.
Yeah.
They
Right.
miss the power of listening, and I think it's sometimes the intention is to get it all in there,
Hmm.
but sometimes that's a one-way conversation,
Right.
and when you're just talking at a person, you're not giving them the opportunity to process what you're saying, to think for themselves, which is what we're really raising these children to do, and
Right.
to come back with whatever their thoughts are. This is how you can have children living in a home with you and not even know who they are, because all you really know is what you said to them. You don't know how they received it. You're making them performative because they're going to do the things that they need to do in order to live in the environment that they've been birthed into. But there really is, and I cannot say it enough, and I choose every opportunity that I can to repeat and reiterate how important it is for us to listen to our children, to listen to the people we love, period.
Right. To listen, period. Right.
Just listen.
Yeah.
Just listen. Yeah.
And I'm kind of a weird guy in the way that, I had to learn a lot of these things. And so when I say patience, what I mean is even with the listening, right? So I have had to develop this thing where in order for me to listen, I do understand that I have to be patient and wait, right? So, like with my sons, and when we're talking, like you said, I think there is this urge to want to jump in and want to fix and want to say, you got to say something, right? You gotta add your 2 cents. And it's just like, I didn't know how to do that. So my mechanism for listening is patience. Like my mechanism for a lot of things is patience, meaning I'm showing patience and I'm going to wait. I'm going to let you get it out. Like a lot of times I'll let them get it out and then there's an awkward silence, right? Because I'm trying to be patient. I'm going to sit here, make sure you got everything out. And now I can say something rather than feeling this urge to jump. And I've had to develop that for myself.
Yeah. Well, how many times I know I have had conversations where something is going on, I allow my impatience to hop in. And then before you know it, like we're talking about whether we're wearing blue or yellow. And before you know it, we're over here talking about, you know, I don't know, whatever happened 3 years ago. Right. And so I
Right.
think that what the patience allows for is that space to be able to create something new because you're allowing things to land. Words have power. And if we're throwing words at a person, it's almost like having a person on the ropes and they're just receiving all this information. They don't have a chance to catch their breath. And then
Hmm.
before you know it, everyone's over, you know, to the right somewhere when in fact staying with the conversation is what's going to actually get to resolution.